Guys, I can't lie, I'm pretty gassed about today's news. So we have information from John Prosser regarding Face ID on the iPhone 13, and Apple's apparently going to be fixing the main issue with Face ID, and that is, it does not work with a mask. Well, apparently there will be new hardware in the iPhone 13 that enables Face ID with a mask. Yes, you heard me right. Apple's about to fix Face ID and I'm ready for this, boys. So let's delve into this really exciting news. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so John Prosser is a pretty trustworthy source. The man has a pretty decent track record, so yes, we can trust his info, and I do very much hope this information ends up being true. So John says that Apple's been working on new Face ID hardware that enables Face ID with a mask or foggy glasses, which of course, as a glasses wearer, I very much appreciate, and apparently Apple's testing this by using a specialized case for iPhone 12 models that apparently bypasses the Face ID on the iPhone 12 to instead use the Face ID hardware built into this case. But guys, what's really exciting is that the Face ID hardware in these cases matches the Face ID array in the iPhone 13 CAD renders. And so yes, we are inclined to believe Apple is going to be using this new Face ID hardware in the iPhone 13, which means that yes, this could enable Face ID with a mask, which would be a godsend. John also says that many employees within Apple are currently testing this tech to collect as much data as possible, and of course, they've given employees an iPhone 12 with a case instead of the iPhone 13 prototypes to of course prevent sources within the company from leaking the iPhone 13. Now, the employees testing the hardware weren't told about the specific changes, but they've been told to test this new hardware in various scenarios, which again makes sense because the more data Apple collects, the better the user experience is when this feature eventually launches. And yes, I'm aware of the Face ID hack where apparently you can register your face with a mask and then apparently Face ID works. That never worked for me, but these employees were told to register their face without any face coverings, which means the hardware itself is recognizing your face even when you're wearing a mask, and guys, that's pretty awesome. Now, not everything was great news, unfortunately, because Apple was testing this feature recently, and of course, in case you don't know, the iPhone 13 was finalized months ago and the phone is currently in mass production, so Apple testing this feature right now might mean we don't see it with the iPhone 13, which is gonna break my heart. Now, thankfully, John does illustrate a possibility where the iPhone 13 could get this magical feature, and that is via a future software update, because you might remember with iOS 14.5, Apple gave us the ability to unlock your iPhone with an Apple Watch when wearing a mask. And so similar to that, maybe a few months down the road, Apple gives us a software update that enables this technology on the iPhone 13. Now, that would be absolutely amazing, but a part of me does think that might be a little unrealistic because obviously Apple rarely gives us hidden features with the iPhone months after launch. But also, this could be a massive marketing pull for the iPhone 13. I could see many people getting the new iPhones for this new feature alone, and so I don't see Apple doing a low-key launch for this massive feature months after the iPhone's launch. That seems a little unlikely in my opinion. This honestly just seems like too big of a feature in my opinion for Apple to release via some random software update, and so yes, I do have a strong feeling Timothy wants to make a massive deal out of this feature on stage. And so basically I think Apple's either going to introduce this at launch or of course do more extensive testing and push back the feature for the iPhone 14. Now yes, I know the chances of getting this feature for the iPhone 13 might seem a little low because they were only testing this feature recently, but I do think there's a chance of maybe John's sources not being aware of previous testing that took place, and since this new Face ID hardware matches with the CAD files we have of the iPhone 13, I do think we're gonna see this feature in 2021. And do remember that recently Mark Gurman told us Touch ID was cancelled on the iPhone 13, and this was surprising news to me then, but now it makes sense because clearly Apple's plans is to make Face ID better instead of giving us a fingerprint scanner that might only be useful to consumers during the pandemic And honestly, if Apple can make Face ID work with a mask, then that's my only issue sorted with Face ID, and so I do not need Touch ID ever again on the iPhone. But guys, tell me how excited you are for this massive game-changing feature for the iPhone 13. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the icon above on details regarding the iPad 9. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.